Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare
Rama
Rama,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
दंडवत प्रणाम। हरे कृष्णा।
Hare
Dandavat
Krishna.
pranam. Dandavat pranam, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. So how do we start?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
So I do start.
Yes, Prabhu. You can start now.
Okay, little kirtan we do and then we start.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, yes, sure.
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी, जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी, यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन, यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन, यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन, यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन, यमुना तीरावनचारी, यमुना तीरावनचारी, जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, ओ हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, जय राधा माधव राधे, जय राधा माधव राधे, जय गौरनिताय, जय गौरनिताय, जय गौरनिताय, जय गौरनिताय, गौरनिताय, जय गौरनिताय, जय गौरनिताय, जय गौरनिताय, जय जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद, जय प्रभुपाद, जय जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद, जय प्रभुपाद, निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल, निताय गौर हरि बोल गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल, निताय गौर हरि बोल, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल, श्री नाम संकीर्तन की जय, श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। Christian prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine, Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे, नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामने गौरकृष्णे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते, गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते, तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी, वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये, वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. I think he's blacking out in middle. It seems.
Yes, Prabhu. A little bit. Now it's okay.
I don't know why
Now
it is happening.
now it's okay.
But yeah, but
sometimes
it's happening again.
audio comes quick and sometimes it comes slow.
No, I'm talking about, it's blacking it out. The video is getting darker.
Yeah, video also blacking out. Now it's bright. Now it's bright.
I
In
don't know
between
why
it goes dark. Now it's okay, Prabhu.
Okay.
Now it's
Or if you give me a minute quickly, I'll try to adjust some light here if possible.
no problem. Bro. Take your time. It's okay.
Okay. Just a second. I'm sorry for this. Hare Krishna. I put some more light here. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
I put some light here. Hare Krishna. Somebody is calling me too. Okay, but now things are okay. Okay, so Hare Krishna. Welcome. Thank you all Kanadesh devotees, Qatar devotees, and thank you for creating this wonderful opportunity. Yes, thank you for creating this wonderful opportunity where we are able to share Srimad Bhagavatam. We are so fortunate that every weekend you get to hear from His Grace Chaitanya Chandra Prabhuji. Prabhuji is such a sincere sadhaka. Every day morning he'll be up. I think every day 2:30 something he gets up. Actually, very regulated. He'll be sleeping early and he'll be getting up very early. He's a very, very regulated Prabhuji, and he does a very nice study of Srimad Bhagavatam, Shastra scriptures, and studies from so many scriptures. And he studies online also, hearing from so many devotees. Very, very sincere sadhaka actually. Regularly hearing, chanting, preparing classes, very nice. So the devotees enjoy his discussion. I mean, mostly, there is seva actually. Studying scriptures is pure Brahmana. Mostly, Prabhuji is one of most. Yeah, this is the service actually does that. Regularly studying scriptures and sharing the scriptures is a wonderful Brahmana duty Prabhuji does, and because he's so engrossed in his studies, his classes are very nice, and you've been hearing his classes and attending is so wonderful. And Prabhuji now, of course, he's sharing this time. He has gone out actually for distributing books in bus party, and that's why Prabhuji asked me. So I'm not a very good replacement for Prabhuji because I try to study, but at the same time I'm caught up because so many other things also are taken up. And but I try my best actually to share a little bit I heard and contemplated to share with all of you. And in this way, whatever we know actually, like Srimad Bhagavatam scriptures, it's mentioned that every bird has its own capacity to fly, right? And bird should fly as per one's own capacity. So, we should try to glorify as much as we can. Srila Prabhupada was so kind that in the very beginning years, when devotees were just toddlers, they were like babies, few months old in Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada was taking a globe in the hand, and Prabhupada was telling, "Oh, Hamsa will go to Germany, Balimardan will go to Australia, and Sham Sundar and Mukunda, they will go to Gurudas, they will go to Britain." Prabhupada's plan and Prabhupada sent all these devotees, and they just know few months, and they don't even know much about Krishna. They know about Prabhupada because Prabhupada stayed with them.
So what they do, they talk about Prabhupada. You know, our guru is such a pure devotee. He has come from India in old days. He suffered heart attacks and he suffered seasickness. And it's such a terrible journey he undertook to come to America. And they're simply glorifying Prabhupada because they don't know much about philosophy. You know, they hardly heard some Bhagavad Gita classes. You know, there are not so many books around. Not all the Bhagavatam cantos are out. So they're simply talking about Srila Prabhupada. And Srila Prabhupada's character is so glorious. Hearing about such pure devotee like Srila Prabhupada himself actually will be totally purified. Actually, there's no difference. Like Srimad Bhagavatam is a katha of Lord Sri Krishna with all his incarnation and all the devotees of Krishna which appeared. Same way, like when you hear the devotees of katha of the devotees, automatically Krishna katha also comes up. So when you hear Srila Prabhupada's katha, automatically there is a Krishna katha. Srila Prabhupada established so many temples. Srila Prabhupada wrote books. Srila Prabhupada preached about Krishna. So everything is about Krishna, what Prabhupada did. Prabhupada was so thoroughly Krishna conscious. One time George Harrison asked Prabhupada, there are so many books and every author has his own opinion. I believe in Krishna. But Bhagavad Gita, so many people are written their interpretation. How do you say? It seems that you're saying that your interpretation is most right, or it's not interpretation, it's as it is Bhagavad Gita. How do you say that your Bhagavad Gita is best and all other Bhagavad Gita are not authorized? How do you say like that? Prabhupada said, you see, okay, Krishna's told you worship me. We're worshipping Krishna. And you see 24 hours we are engaged in talking about Krishna, serving Krishna, chanting Krishna, worshipping Krishna, sharing about Krishna, everything Krishna, 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 Krishna. So, Hare Krishna, please mute. So in this way, we should talk about Krishna when, when there's chance. Okay. So in this way, we are all engaged, 24 hours in Krishna. So you find out who is most addicted to Krishna. If Bhagavad Gita says you should become a devotee of Krishna, you should find out who's most addicted to Krishna, and then get the company of that devotee who's most addicted to Krishna. Right? So Srila Prabhupada is such a pure Bhagavata, is totally addicted to Krishna. Prabhupada is thoroughly covered. Prabhupada, when he used to be in his room, devotees initially in the beginning years, because they were very new to Prabhupada and they really wanted to test him. He's come from India. What is his motive? What does he does when he's alone? Right? We want to test the character of the person. It is mentioned that you find out what he does when he's alone. Right? Sabke samne to hum log, we can fake it. But when you're alone, right, then nobody's watched, there to watch us, and then our lower self may come out. But Srila Prabhupada, what he used to do when he's alone? He's in his room. They put the cameras. You might have seen sometime actually Prabhupada being covered, from the top, from window kind of thing, and Prabhupada is walking and he's chanting on his beads all the time. Prabhupada is chanting. Sometimes he's reading. He's sharing, he's writing letters for Krishna, always planning. Prabhupada is most covered. Prabhupada, when he went to morning walk, Prabhupada, they recorded it. Prabhupada is talking in the conversation in the room. Prabhupada, they recorded it. Prabhupada went on to different countries and used to have arrival address. Every single thing actually tried to record, whatever Prabhupada spoke. And every time you hear any conversation, it's all about centered on Krishna. Prabhupada is so Krishna conscious actually. And he had such a force because he was so much Krishna conscious that he could spread out Krishna consciousness like wildfire. It went on every place. So initial years, the devotees were very, very new and they hardly knew. So they were only talking about Prabhupada. Prabhupada is such a pure devotee, and just by hearing about Prabhupada, the devotees, the new people who came into Krishna, they got purified and they got so much faith that took to the Krishna consciousness by hearing his description. In my own life, actually, I've seen, especially in the beginning years, that whatever little enthusiasm I had preaching, whatever little inspiration I had preaching, everything has come from reading Prabhupada different biographies. Initially, yes, I voraciously read. I really aspire to read again, get back to such voracious reading of Prabhupada biographies. It's a little bit slowed down, but it's a life actually. It's a tonic. If you really want to fire in Krishna consciousness, really want to mend the spirit, if we really want to maintain that preaching attitude, we need to regularly study Srila Prabhupada life. Teaching, we're studying, but Prabhupada life itself is a practical demonstration. Dharma sthapan hetu sadhur vyavahar. Because many times scriptures, they conflict with each other, right? Sometimes we don't understand how to apply certain principles. How do you understand in such situation? Dharma sthapan hetu sadhur vyavahar. If you want to find out what is real religious principle, you find out the life of a devotee. When you learn from the life of a devotee, automatically you understand, okay, this is the way I have to apply the scriptures. Otherwise, it's so difficult. The Prabhupada would not be there. How do we know that morning we're supposed to get up what time and what arti we're supposed to chant, in which order and which tune, and what we're supposed to do when we're doing arti, how we are supposed to dance, how we are supposed to wear our attire, how we are supposed to put tilak, and what activities, like what kind of scripture we do discuss, what is the format of discussing scriptures, and what prayers do we offer before we discuss scriptures. We don't know anything actually. Srila Prabhupada gave every single thing for all of us in our life. There is nothing Prabhupada didn't give. In daytime, definitely Prabhupada told 50% of my job is incomplete. Prabhupada told that is some of Prabhupada could do actually, because he had very limited time. It's Varnashram. So our morning program is this one is very fixed. Nobody's doubt, right? Before 9 o'clock, everything is, every temple you go, it will all say after 9 o'clock, because Varnashram is not established properly. So people are confused. They are not sure what to do now, right? Everybody's confused. Is the right job or wrong job? Because they are not yet established Varnashram Dharma. Yeah, that is the remaining part actually. That after, when we engage, like generally, when all of us actually we try to be situate ourselves on the limbs of bhakti, 64 limbs of bhakti. But if we are not so qualified, as the day progresses, the mode of Rajoguna also takes place. Then we need to engage ourselves actually, to step down. But we don't step down to the Vikarma, we step down to the platform Varnashrama, that we do everything, whatever we do, for pleasure of Krishna. So Prabhupada actually also given some guidelines, right? Prabhupada told about Varnashrama. And in this way, by mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we're practicing our bhakti. So definitely actually by discussing about your devotees, their lives, we can find a great inspiration. I was sharing my own life actually. Hare Krishna. In my own life, that has been a great inspiration.
Your audio disconnected.
Somebody called me actually. Sorry. As soon as somebody calls, then I'm joining from a mobile today. Okay.
Now it's okay.
Yes, bro. Yes, bro. So we are studying Srimad Bhagavatam, and as mentioned, Srimad Bhagavatam is study of the Lord and study of different incarnations of Krishna and dynasties. It has solar dynasty and lunar dynasties. Sun god and moon god. The dynasties coming through them. So both of the dynasties mentioned is there, and it has the dynasties have so many kings actually. Right? Sometimes we are tired, one after another. So all the pious kings actually are operated in Bhagavatam. Right? And all the names are mentioned in Bhagavatam. Line, like chapter pages after pages after pages, you'll find the names. Specifically in 9th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, you find names of all different kings actually which operate on all these dynasties. Right? So they must be purifying, because there's mention in Srimad Bhagavatam. So all the dynasties and the kings and everything is mentioned in Bhagavatam. And then the 10th canto is called as Ashray Tattva, or every canto represent a particular, what do you call the 10 principal topics actually discussed in Bhagavatam. And 10th canto has a topic of Ashray, how devotees in Vrindavan, among all adversities, they take shelter of Krishna. Among all adversities, they'll be like it's not cheap actually to come into Krishna consciousness. We find from the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam that what all kind of obstacles they come upon devotees. Right before birth of Krishna, we find that 6 children of Devaki are killed actually, and 7 child just disappears, and each child is born in a jail situation near to immediately move from that place, immediately shifted to Vrindavan. So we find this misery in a life of a Devaki and Vasudeva. So if somebody complains, just a second, I'll have water. It's finished here. Okay. Somebody complains that there are pain, there's a misery in my life, and I have come to bhakti, I have to suffer. We should study 10th canto of Bhagavatam, where pure devotees of Krishna, the Brajvasis are mentioned. Brahmaji mentions actually that Aho Bhagyam Nanda Gopa Prajapasanam Yan Mitra Paramanandam Purna Brahma Sanatanam. What a great fortune, that Supreme Lord, Purna Brahma Sanatanam, the complete absolute truth. Everybody's Etam Chamshakala Pumsa, Krishnastu Bhagavan Sam, this Purna, complete personality of God, Krishna's appeared as a friend. नंद गोप जो गोस्वामी मित्र के रूप में भगवान साक्षात प्रकट है, परमानंद पूर्ण ब्रह्म सनातन. But that bhagya also come with so many difficulties and troubles. Actually, right from birth of Krishna, there's so many demons are attacking. Putna is attacking Trunavart is attacking Shaktasur, Vasasur, Bakasur, Agasur, Kalia. So many demons are mentioned actually, one after another. Practically every day Krishna is killing a demon, and Mother Yashoda is totally in a state of anxiety all day. Because of all these demons and situation in that. But they are not tired actually. They don't give up Krishna consciousness because they're always serving Krishna, totally depend on Krishna. When there is a torrential rain poured by Indra, what they do? They go under the shelter of Govardhan. No, Krishna, they take shelter of Krishna and Krishna lives with Govardhan. They totally depend on Krishna. So that's what we understand actually, that even among all the miseries, if we say that, okay, Krishna, why are you giving misery? Then we are yet to suffer more miseries actually. But we turn on to Krishna and we say, Krishna, I take shelter of you actually. Thank you for what you're giving. Tattenu kampam susumikshamaano gunjane vatmakatum vipakam pradvar purvir vidadan namaste jivete mukti pate sadaya bhagvanu. Bows down to Krishna, offers his sincere respect to Krishna in this way. He is qualified actually. He thanks among all the miseries. Krishna, thank you. What you're giving me actually. Like we're discussing, I put in my group also. There's some devotee joined here. One devotee had a difficulty in chanting because of health situation, and the devotee is really trying to work upon one's her health actually. Mataji is there, and she was telling it's very difficult to focus in chanting because of bad health. Mind is wavering. So I was just thinking, and I just suggested actually what I tried myself for my own. When I was sick and things were difficult, that we just say that Krishna, this is the nature of the world actually, and why I'm trying to seek any happiness in this world. This again, idam sharira vyadhi mandiram. This body itself is vyadhi mandiram. All the miseries are in the body, and apart from that, this dukhalama shashvatam. This world is full of misery, right? So what we can expect in this world? Roga shoka nivarana. This is a very beautiful song actually. O reman valo nahi lage samsar. Janama marana jara e sansare aache. He says that, boy, I don't like this material world. There's a janam maran, all these miseries are there. And roga shoka anivara, there is a disease, and shoka, it automatically it comes. So all these kind of miseries are mentioned in this. So this is the world, Krishna. And then we helplessly, so just whatever happiness we are finding, that happiness is just a temporary happiness. Immediately that cloud is going to appear. Sunlight is there, and there's a cloud appears, and then the sunlight is blocked. So similarly, the happiness is just for Srila Prabhupada mentioned it's like a lightning. Actually, material happiness is just a lightning in the sky, just for a moment. But Krishna consciousness is like a crystal clear, pure sun. When like all day you can be in sun, right? And you can enjoy the sunlight. So totally you can be in Krishna consciousness actually. When the sun of Krishna consciousness is there. Lightning, there's hardly, this is a flash and the flash goes away. So all material happiness is like that. It's just like a flash. So yeah, so when such misery is there, we can turn to Krishna. Krishna, this is the world actually, and I'm totally helpless. I can't take care of myself. I can't handle this. It's totally out of my control. Krishna, I understood that I'm trying to falsely control of my situation, but actually you are the real controller. He has a remote actually, and he stuffed this entire world with, there is sometimes they put what they call barud, jameen mein gaad ke rakhte, surang lagate, right? Mines, they have mines, and at any time, like the mines will blast. Yeah. So similarly, or sometimes the time bombs are there, and there is a controller sitting, and and we can press and or bombs are there, IDs are there, right? So, and whenever the controller wants, actually, can blast it. Same way, Krishna is put us, all the different bombs in our body, in the world, and every place, actually, the controller. And as per his desire, sometimes there's Anshik Pralaya, sometimes there's a complete Pralaya, and everything is destroyed. At the end of like the day of Brahma, Anantashesh is so frustrated actually that these people are not taking up Krishna consciousness. So many opportunities were given to them. Like every yuga Lord appeared, and Katha was told to them, but still they are not taken to Krishna consciousness. And then Anantashesh mentioned fifth canto, he becomes angry actually, and the flames come from his mind, and entire creation burns in such flames. Everything is destroyed. Right. So Lord becomes transcendently angry with the people. They're not taking to Krishna consciousness. People like this. So how we came? Yeah, so we need to shift to Krishna actually when we realize that miseries are there, rather than rather than complaining and criticizing. Definitely, we can try to deal with miseries actually. We try our best. We remain healthy and we take care of health and remain try to remain fit. At the same time, we also understand this is the world actually. And helpless, at least in chanting in a couple of hours actually. We should try not to make solutions in a 2 hours of chanting period time and use every difficult situation as an opportunity to turn into Krishna. Many times our 2 hours also goes in planning for the miseries. Okay, there is a loan. Okay, how I'm going to pay for it and how I'm going to arrange and what a job I'm going to do and what next salary I want. So all this business will go, in chanting also. Then when we're turning to Krishna in helplessness, at least in chanting, we should totally surrender everything to Krishna. Krishna, actually, I'm this helpless person. I've fallen here, and I can't deal with this. Actually, I'm a tiny soul, and I'm totally dependent on you, Krishna. No, I unfortunately, I such badly I caught up myself here in this material world, and there's no way to come out of this. I'm caught up in this sansara, and I'm taking around and round and round in this material world, and I don't find any other Krishna. Just you be merciful unto me. I'm so badly caught up, and unless you be merciful, unless you are merciful and you take me away from this place, I have no hope, Krishna. Right? And we, in that spirit, we call out Krishna's names. So chanting is not just mechanical utterance of some mantras. Actually, it is calling out of Krishna's holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. That's why this Hare in a Sambodhan. Eighth Vibhakti is called a Sambodhan. Sambodhan यानी पुकारना. तो chanting में हरा का हरे क्यों हो जाता है? पुकार रहे हैं. मैं सोचना चाहिए, am I calling out or I'm just uttering some names? Right? So actual chanting is calling out. When you call out, when you're really in a trouble, right? You call out, hey, come, there's a trouble here. Right? You won't be like, like you can come actually. This, you're caught up. Let's say you're caught up by fire, or you're caught up. There's a big snake, and just going to, you'll be shouting, "Wow, please help me!" Actually, I'm in this situation. How badly we should be shouting, when you're in really bad situation, right? For any possible help, when you understand I'm dying, I'm drowning. Let's say you're drowning in the river. Imagine that we are in a river and we don't know swimming and we're very badly drowning, and there is a person standing on the bank, and I only few seconds now before I make a loud call to that person, and then I shout out with all energy I got in my heart and in my belly, "Oh, please help me! Come here! No, can you please save me?" No, I not tried this, but yeah, if we shout, no, how will shout? You can imagine for yourself, right? So this is a situation actually. You might have heard the story that one time a guru was asked by a disciple, "Oh, master, what it takes to get out of this world? How do I come out of this world?" So master, I'll tell you. And one day master takes him onto the river and takes his head and puts under the water, and then after as he's about to run out of his breath, and then he brings him outside that water, and he asks him, "How are you feeling?" "Oh, I was desperate." "What are you looking for? Do you thinking of samosa? Do you thinking of somebody scolded you want to fight him back? What are you thinking when you're in the water?" "I was just thinking I'll get the next breath, when I'll get the next fresh air. I was just thinking that I wanted to just immediately come out of this." So, okay, when you want Krishna like this, when you want God like this, actually, when nothing else, just Krishna I want, that time Krishna is there for you. Krishna wants us to exclusively take shelter of him. Mam ekam sharanam braja. Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam braja. Ham tvam sarva papi vimokshisham. Mam ekam, only me, nothing else. Okay. So we need to come to this platform of Mam ekam, that we seek only Krishna's shelter. Actually, at least in chanting, as I'm mentioning. Okay, daytime we got to do our job, and health is bad, we go to doctor. And when things are not working, we go to maintenance, repair people, and they try to repair our watch, try to repair our geyser, try to repair things. But how long actually? We'll try to be in a maintenance mode. At least in the chanting, we turn into Krishna. Krishna, I am helpless. Things don't work in this material. Even the work for a while, everything is there just to give pain actually. Entire material world, only the purpose is actually, of course, there's happiness also, but that happiness is a kind of a trap. The real happiness in the material world is Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna. Yes, mute. Yes. So only happiness is Krishna consciousness happens. Hearing a katha, chanting the whole names of Krishna. Because this happiness, Ramanti Yogi Ronante Satyanandi Chidatmani. The yogis don't participate in happiness which is beginning and end. Yei sansparsha bhoga dukkha nayavate adyantanta kaunte na teshu ramate buddha. Any happiness which is begin and end, the intelligent people don't participate in this because that is just an illusion. Actually, you find like a lotus flower is so beautiful, so fragrant. The bumble will come, sit on the lotus flower, and immediately, it's so absorbed in drinking that honey that at the sunset the flower will close itself, and the bumblebee which can sometime even make a hole in hard wood because it's so attached he cannot come out of that lotus and he'll be caught up and he'll die, right? So this is our situation in this material world, that what a little happiness is there, it just act like a trap, and we think the material world has become a very cozy place and I can still be comfortable and I can become Krishna consciousness. Serious, okay, there's no hurry up. I have time, we'll follow it, right? When situation time comes, we never know actually when the time comes. Anytime. Padam padam napipadam natisham. That every step is a danger in the material world. So beautifully, Srila Prabhupada is giving us this couple of hours of chanting. And in this chanting time, we put aside all our defense, resistance, and we say, we am helpless, Krishna. I need your protection, your shelter. I'm dependent. And we call out to Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Oh Krishna, I'm drowning in this ocean. Please save me, please save me. I'm calling you out, Krishna. Oh Srimati Radharani, when shall your mercy come upon me? How long you're going to keep me far from your shelter? And all this, like Srimad Chetan Chetamrut mentions, it's like, sometimes you're dipped inside, and sometimes, like earlier when they used to give punishment, like as I mentioned, that Guru did with his disciple, they would take in the middle of the river and they'll put head down, and when he's about to die, he'll take him out, and again he'll put head down and he'll take him up outside. Our situation is like that. We are always suffering, and some this little happiness, something good happens, and we feel, oh, material world is a comfortable place, and again suffering, and then little happiness we find this material world, and we find, wow, this material world is a very beautiful place. You might have seen that picture of a person is on the branch of a tree, and is hanging actually on the branch of a tree, and there is a well below, and the snakes are waiting down, and the tiger is waiting down, the snake is there on the branch, is coming to bite him, and the two mice is actually, day and night, white and a black mouse, they're cutting that tree. Gradually he may fall down anytime, and there is a top, there is honey comb, and there is honey is dripping, and the person, as he's drinking that honey, he feeling, wow, my situation is so wonderful. He is not seeing that impending death is there, just waiting for him. So definitely, that's why the scripture is there to prepare for us as what is the duty of a dying man. This is a situation, this is a question asked by Parikshit Maharaj. So this is our duty of studying Srimad Bhagavatam, and specifically, 10th canto is Ashray Tattva, where we take shelter of Krishna. So that's what we learn from Brajvasis, how to take shelter of Krishna. So of course, one may ask this question, that you're just talking about death and all this situation. Why, like there's a life also, and you should be positive. But definitely, actually, we are positively trying to deal with. You're not trying to run away from the reality. So most of the people want to run away. They don't even want to discuss death. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to think about it. How many people really come up with positive discussion and discuss about death? How many seminars, so many conferences happen actually. How many times you've seen this conference on death and people are discussing about that? Very rare actually. People don't want to discuss that. But unfortunately, at any point of time, like today, I shared in a group, actually, our group, people whole life goes absorbed in just talking about me, my. What is the shloka? I'll write. Somebody can read the shloka I shared in the group. Ashanam, Vasanam, me, this is my bird, this is my food, this is my shelter. He does keep on saying me. And then when a bakra does me, anytime, the predator may come and kill that bakra, kill that goat, because always me. So our time goes in, unfortunately, and we're discussing about ourselves and talking about our own glories. I did this, I did that, I'm going to achieve this, I'm going to achieve that, all that, right? Where's Krishna in that? Actually, everything we should do for Krishna, and we should talk more about Krishna. So more advanced one is actually focus will shift from me to he, actually, Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. He would like to glorify Krishna, always chant, talk about Krishna. But as a person keeps on doing me, my, mine, then Kala Sarpa is very strong. Immediately that person will be caught. Jiva asti darudurikeva suta na chupagayanti upagayagata. Bilevalo bato rukramana vikrame. No, bilevato rukramana vikramani. Na chupagayanti upagayagata. Jiva asti darudurikeva suta. So कहते हैं कि जीवा इस तरह के दारुदुरी की हो सकता है. Jiva, which is not chanting the glories of the Lord, it's just like a croaking of a frog. If a frog is croaking in a dead of a night, what is going to happen? The snake is going to come and eat that frog. Similarly, people talk about materialistic thing. Actually, they're attracting death more and more and more closer to them. But those who are talking the glories of Krishna, actually, they're attracting Krishna, Krishna's grace, and they'll be saved from the cycle. So we take shelter of Krishna. We understand from Brajavasis how to take shelter of Krishna. And now here is the 11th canto of Bhagavatam. The topic is Mukti. And 11th canto of Bhagavatam, we find the very first chapter actually. Krishna is now making a, no, it is very difficult to understand Krishna. Here, Krishna is going, is making a plan about how to wind up his pastimes. And Yada, Krishna says actually, Paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya dushpratam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. So vinashaya dushpratam. Krishna destroys the evils and the demons. Vinashaya dushpratam. So Dushkriti here is not the demons actually. Dushkriti here, Krishna is calling Dushkriti as the Yadavas. No, Krishna wants to complete the pastimes of the Yadavas. And to killing Kauravas, he has arranged entire Mahabharata elaborate war and gambling match and so many times exile and all the pastimes which happened in that exile. And then there is elaborate war, all the preparations for the war, and then there's a war in 18 days. There's intense fighting and the match is going in a different directions. And in the end, all the Kauravas finished. And entire Mahabharata is written, on which the serial has come and we can enjoy, right? Mahabharata. But wind up of Krishna's Yadava's pastime, Krishna doesn't want to make such elaborate story. Krishna wants to do it very quick. And Krishna is arranging this pastime, which he discussed in the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So after telling 10th canto of Bhagavatam, he might be thinking actually, now he must be tired now. Like 10th canto is over now, 5 days are over. Shanti abhi thoda sa manne se pehle thoda dhyan kar lete hain. So he winds up actually all the pastimes, 11th, 12th canto, in an initial few shlokas of 11th canto, first chapter. But Shukadeva Goswami is very keen to hear. He doesn't want to drop out on anything. Even 1 or 2 days are remaining. He wants to hear the entire thing. How did it happen? Right? Why did it happen? Can you imagine? Right? Generally, like 10th canto, we like to discuss, but okay, 11th canto is not philosophy. We like to discuss all that. And the story, who cares? We like to hear Krishna's Vrindavan pastimes, right? Like even some Prabhupada was there. Generally, we read about ISKCON. All the books are there when Prabhupada was there, but there's not much literature actually. We also don't try to know what happened after Prabhupada. But also sometimes for leaders at least, it's important to know what happened after Prabhupada. What happened after Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. What is important to know? Because if there's some mistakes are committed, actually, we should not commit those mistakes again. Bhagavatam has all the stories of fall down of different devotees, actually, like Ajamil fall down is there, or the Sabri Muni fall down is there. Why these fall down stories are there? Because there are innumerable wonderful lessons are there. Even Brahmaji and Indra and all these great demigods commit mistake. Now, why their pastimes are chosen? They are so dear to the Lord, actually. Lord makes them sometimes a guinea pig and these fall downs happen. And very purpose is so that people like us, actually, we should learn some lessons and we should not commit a similar mistake. Now for Indra and Brahma, it is very rare, actually. Their lifespans are so huge that one little fall down is like nothing, in a huge lifespan of hundreds and thousands of years. But these pastimes are still chosen by Krishna. Otherwise, they are wonderful devotees. But these pastimes are chosen by Bhagavatam to teach a lesson. Okay, be careful, sadhaka. These are the dangers. Also, you should be careful. You should be mindful. You should not deviate. Also, Bharat Maharaj, all the stories comes actually, so that we are sadhakas. We are not yet pure devotees. We are not perfected. Prabhupada was doing, and we need to be careful in every situation. Right? Prabhupada once told, "I kick out on the face of Maya," and then he was intensely praying to Krishna. And then devotees asked, "What did you pray to Krishna?" And Prabhupada said, "I prayed to Krishna that Krishna, please protect me from Maya." Prabhupada, you told you kick on the face of Maya, and now you pray to Krishna that you should be saved from Maya. What is this? So Prabhupada said, there is no contradiction. Because I'm praying to Krishna, please protect me, that I get a power to deal with Maya. Mame prapadyante Maya metam taranti. So not our own power actually, by power of Krishna consciousness, somehow, as we are depending on Krishna, we may be able to overcome Maya. On our own is very, very difficult. Mama Maya Duratya, Mama Prapadanti, Maya Mitantam. Very difficult to work with this Maya. So we find 11th canto that all the Yadavas now, because they are also demigods, Krishna asked these demigods, oh, please appear. When I'm going to appear, you should also appear as my associates, participate in the pastimes. But now the time has come and different associates are supposed to reach, go back to their own places and resume their duties. Right? And Krishna and his eternal pure devotees, they are supposed to return back to the Golok Vrindavan. So Krishna, or Dwarka Dham specifically. So Dwarka is a place Krishna actually excavated, Dwarka, and situated because Mathura was being constantly attacked, and Mathura is also very close to Vrindavan. All the news is going regular to Vrindavan, right? And Vrindavan, there's so much anxiety also, Krishna being attacked every time. So Krishna doesn't want to keep Brajvasis and even his relatives, close relatives, in a anxiety. And we see that, right? Sometimes you're sick, you don't want to tell your parents that you're sick because if they come to know, then they'll be really worried about that. So Krishna doesn't want to share what is happening. All the demons are attacking. The Brajvas is already in a pain, and they'll be so much worried about Krishna. And also, Krishna want to protect his Yaduvanshis. So Krishna recovers the land in the ocean, and he builds a very fabulous city of Dwarka. And in that city, Dwarka city, there a palace for every single queen and most opulent city. And the Dwarkavasis are the most powerful people. And Krishna is thinking in his mind, now I already almost finished all the demons. But if I don't finish these Yaduvanshis, then they'll become burden on the earth, right? They're supposed to return back their duties. I'm going winding up my pastime. So they must also, their time has come now to quit, right? So Krishna is doing this Leela, and that's why we're studying actually. We're trying to learn lessons. So as I mentioned, it's important, right? Sometimes to discuss even stories where people fell down and why did fell down, but under the right guidance, right? If it is not under right guidance, not from authority, then it may become a dosha katha, that you're just discussing the faults, not the lessons. So when we discuss this pastime, the blame is not so much on the person, but it's more the emphasis given on what lessons can we learn and how we can remain protected actually. So that's why now sometimes these kind of stories also discuss. And Srila Prabhupada also, you find sometimes later Prabhupada will tell, like you find one particular devotee didn't accept, like Prabhupada ordered him to follow certain, like we were returning from India, Prabhupada told you must wait in a Britain, see preaching opportunities, and then go back to USA. And he didn't wait. And he directly went to USA. And Prabhupada started writing a letter, see this devotee is so deviant. Like I told him, he told yes, but he didn't wait. He directly went to USA. And Prabhupada wrote to quite a few disciples. So Prabhupada was sharing, not to actually criticize that disciple, but to actually make other disciples aware that how it is important to follow order of spiritual master. How you displease spiritual master, you cannot advance in spiritual life. Prabhupada want to impart valuable lessons, so he discussed that actually. So the devotees should have healthy fear. Oh, I should not disobey. Prabhupada is not at all happy. If Prabhupada doesn't express any unhappiness, then how do I come to know? Right? So Prabhupada not letters like that. Sometimes telling about this devotee has done this. So many devotees told. When Tamal Krishna Maharaj signed land, written that land, Juhu land, Prabhupada for next 1 year almost. Any guest would come, Prabhupada justice. This is Tamal. This is a fool that he written that land and we lost the Juhu land. So Prabhupada would sometimes point out just to help devotees actually to rectify themselves. And Prabhupada was really heavy. I was yesterday watching Prabhupada, following Srila Prabhupada, and Prabhupada always chastising the Surbi Swami. 2 years, 3 temples in Pune, such a beautiful, magnificent. It took 8 years to build this temple, with hundreds, thousands of congregations, so many devotees, so much planning. But still, it took 8 years. And that time, Prabhupada disciple, no Indians, mostly Americans, 98% people. First time, only if 100 people are coming here. ISKCON is very, very austere organization. Everybody is, we are not so rich that time. Whatever sales happening and money is coming to book distribution, that is our money. And Prabhupada started a little bit like membership program. All these big temples in a couple of 2-3 years, Vrindavan temple and Juhu temple and Mayapur temple, Hyderabad, so many temples were established in India, magnificent big temples. And Prabhupada is always calling Surbi Swami, chastising him. What is this? Why you made this design like this? And why it is taking so much time? And Surbi Swami says the delays were just justified. Actually, they were real reasons, like the labels are not available, the cement is not available, the bricks, there is a problem, this and that, permissions problem. But Prabhupada doesn't want to accept any kind of excuse. Prabhupada says no, and he is realizing this. Prabhupada is heavy, and yes, probably I have to transcend my own understanding. Actually, I have to come to platform of My spiritual master, many times we get orders from spiritual master and we say, oh, it's not possible. I can't do that. Like, how can you ask me to do this? But actually, what we should do is actually, if we're really having trouble to follow that, we can go to spiritual master and express our heart. And still, spiritual master says that no, actually, this way one has to do it. Then we have to take that leap of faith. Okay, my spiritual master knows better, and let me try. What he says, probably I don't understand, but my spiritual master understand. I can do that, and they followed that. And Survi Swami, he, because of his wonderful design, Vrindavan temple and Mayapur temple, Mayapur of course that time Samadhi designed actually after Prabhupada there, but Vrindavan temple and Jew temple, they're so beautiful, so ornate. Now also, so many people like it. It's all designed by Survi Swami. And after the temples opened, some devotees are telling Prabhupada, Survi has done such a wonderful, fabulous job. And Prabhupada said, all of you are appreciating him, but I always chastise him. But what can I do? It's a job of spiritual master actually, that if I don't correct and rectify him, how will he become improved? So Prabhupada discuss these faults actually, just to help that person to rise above. But it's not, it's the duty of this spiritual master actually, it's duty of a guide mentor. It's not duty of every person that they'll find out a fault. Spiritual master also, because so qualified that not to criticize that person, not in a malicious way, but to help that person to elevate, come to right platform. If points out the faults, and so that devotee can rectify and qualify himself to serve Krishna. That is the only reason. So here there are invaluable lessons in this pastime, and that's why even after 10th canto, after hearing all the Krishna's pastime, the Parikshit Maharaj is still eager to hear the pastime of destruction of the dynasty of Yaduvamshis. So and this pastimes comes here. Okay, what is the time right now? Let me see. 1 second. 10:20. How long is this class? Is it, Prabhu?
Prabhu, normally up to 8, Prabhu. 8 p.m. Yeah, here 8 p.m. Then India 10:30. But it's up to you. Like, you can feel free if you want to. Like,
I can take some questions.
Yes. And normally we were discussing from 11th canto, Prabhu. Last week we were having this discussion from 11th canto. So it was third chapter from 11th canto.
Oh my God, you already...
Yeah. And then Prabhu suggested that we'll go like a thematic study. Because individually we were covering each chapter, chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. Then Prabhu said we'll have like a thematic study with a presentation. So
I thought he's starting today, he didn't tell me. But anyways, we didn't discuss much.
Yeah. That's fine.
I thought if I had a time, then I will discuss first 2 chapters. Yes, but already you've discussed. So anyways.
Yes. And anyways, Prabhu, it's you explain the importance and seriousness of Krishna consciousness. Definitely it will be helpful for all these other categories. So if there are any questions, devotees can please feel free to ask Prabhu.
So mainly we discussed about 10th canto. The topic is Ashtra, actually, how we are supposed to take shelter of Krishna. Specifically, during our chanting time, we take exclusive shelter of Krishna. This is the central message I want to emphasize today.
Yes. So,
any questions, dear devotees?
Any questions? Yes.
In chat.
So you can. We were actually reading this, Prabhu, this Captain book actually. So it's very nicely presented. I think all the age groups they can read. They can it's like the way it's presented that any age group can read that book. The smaller, the younger ones, as well as the elder ones. It's nicely presented, Prabhu.
Thank you. Prabhu. Is my humble desire. I'm trying to translate in multiple languages. So this is always like when you're author, you want to increase your titles and write more. But I've been like spending time in translating also this book actually. I'm keeping us a temptation of going to other topics because I really want that Prabhupada should be available to as many people as possible in a more simpler language, and younger groups also should be able to access life of Srila Prabhupada. So we are translating almost 8 languages. Gradually want to bring out all those actually.
Nice.
So I'm spending
so
we just
how much
Hindi
love
book is
Prabhupada.
Prabhupada is important person now. Prabhupada is ISKCON is Prabhupada. Krishna consciousness is Prabhupada. Prabhupada is Krishna. For us, everything is coming from Prabhupada. And if we are able to understand, learn, and appreciate Srila Prabhupada, then we can be really together actually for a long, long time. Otherwise, like all these differences may come up if we don't keep central point, no, Srila Prabhupada, the central point of our life.
Yes. Also, you were discussing about one incident where a devotee had some health issue, he's not able to chant, and you explained that you suggested him something. So in practical cases, like there are people who are interested in Krishna consciousness, and if there may be for their health is not cooperating, so that they are not able to do well.
Actually, it needs little advancement. Specifically, can say it's difficult. Definitely, when health is bad, for most of the people, ordinarily, it will be difficult to focus. But devotee who has taken shelter, got initiated, who is practicing for some time, he should also try to fix on his health. At the same time, one has to learn also to see transcendentally this perspective that this is a material world, this is a material body actually, and every mantra we're supposed to chant helplessly. But when things are all right, when you're very happy, right? When where is the problem then, and how can we artificially call out? Unless, of course, it's not artificial actually. We see the misery in the world, and devotees intelligence by hearing they understand, so we can call out. But specifically when there is a misery in the personal life, then it becomes very urgent actually. So we don't pray, especially we are not so exalted as Kunti Devi that we're praying, but misery is there already in the life. We should also see that Krishna is showing with the real material world. This is how it's going to be actually, again and again, as so many, like we discussed actually, how the material world is miserable place. So better, like when I'm doing sadhana, when I'm going to temple, when I'm doing kirtan, when I'm reading Bhagavatam, when I'm chanting holy names, any limbs of bhakti I'm doing, let me try to do it with as much attention, as much focus as I can, because I'm trying to seek the shelter of Krishna actually doing this. Right? It's not just reading, it's not just chanting, it's not just doing some kirtan, but actually is calling out Krishna, seeking Krishna's shelter actually in Bhagavatam, words of Bhagavatam, seeking Krishna's shelter. We're trying to seek direction, we're trying to seek guidance, we're trying to seek Krishna's attention when you're reading Bhagavatam. Right? When that spirit is there, definitely we'll find that Krishna is speaking through the pages of Bhagavatam, Krishna is speaking through when we are answering our prayers, the incidents in our life which are happening. When we're always trying to see Krishna's intervention in our life, we'll also find actually Krishna is intervening in our life. If we're not looking it out, then we're not able to see Krishna's hand so much. So seek and ye shall find. Even Jesus told actually, you seek and then you shall find. So we need to seek. We need to become a seeker of Krishna consciousness. We need to ask questions actually, right? The monks are more interested in questions than answers. And of course, they're interested in answers also because they're interested in questions. The answers are there, but they always ask questions rather than answering. And they'll always asking questions specifically to oneself, right? We always ask, am I right? Am I online? Am I following authority? Am I following the direction scriptures? Is it pleasing Krishna? Right? Will that take me advance? If Krishna consciousness will take me forward? Like it is meditation actually. Recently, I tried to do for my own chanting. Just last few days, I'm trying a little bit. I'll tell you, a little bit helped me. Yeah. Like in beginning, I'm trying to ask my question, why I'm chanting? Like I'm sitting for chanting, why I'm chanting? Why these beads I'm holding and sitting here and chanting? So all the basic philosophy in 1 minute, I can do recap actually. I'm this I'm caught up of soul, I'm supposed to chant. And then how I'm supposed to chant, right? Few this question, what is the direction given to my spiritual master? So basic question I try to ask myself. So when I'm reminded, it helps me actually to try to chant in right mood. So yeah, we should ask questions actually. Every situation is good practice to ask right questions to oneself. So it can help us bring us on track, right? It's like turning on the GPS when you're missed, because when you ask questions, actually you're seeking direction. So when you seek directions, then you understand where you are and which direction you're supposed to. When you're really you're out of the track, means we can ask ourselves, we can ask scriptures, we can ask our spiritual master this question, and we can find out, oh my God, this answer actually, and I'm out of the track. Let me bring myself on the track. Yeah, so it's important actually. It's not just these questions are meant for new people. Why I'm chanting when I use standard answer? No, sometimes we need to ask ourselves this question. Why I'm chanting actually? I'm chanting every day, but why did that all start? Right? Because over the period of time, we just do it mechanically and we forget why actually I'm doing it. It's just become ritual that okay, I'm supposed to complete this, and it becomes when you're preaching, it becomes a material for others, but what for myself? Yes.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. As you said, questions are very, very important to ask. So we get, I think all our scriptures is about question and answers. Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. It's about question and answers.
So here, can we think that in second chapter of 11th Canto of Bhagavatam, the father of Krishna Vasudeva is asking question about Bhagavad Dharma. to none other than Narada. So now, like, can you imagine Vasudeva, who is Dharma, his son is बाप है कृष्ण के ना, कोई भी मास्टर बोलते हैं बाप है किसी का, ये तो इस सब्जेक्ट में बाप है, like a father, I don't बोलते हैं, somebody is expert, we call as बाप. So he's Krishna's father and Krishna Dharma personified. He could, didn't know the Dharma, but here he's teaching us with his own example, actually asking Narada Muni that, please explain me what is Dharma. And all these questions are again, we find 11th canto actually, like Maharaj Nimai is asking this question to all the Navi Yogandras, and enter 9th canto, this answered, all the question of Bhagavad Dharma is answered by Narada Muni by quoting a dialogue between Navi Yogandras and Maharaj Nimai. And in this way, it is revealed in the entire 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam.
Yes, very true. So thank you, Prabhu. Thank you very much. If any other devotees have anything to discuss, ask questions.
Yes, any question, any reflection, dear Prabhu? What is this? I don't know how. I spoke a little fast.
24 devotees are there.
Yeah, some of our devotees on a group also joined today.
Yes, Prabhu.
Any reflection, dear Prabhu, Mataji, would like to share? I'm more glad to hear, actually. No question, no reflection. Please, one or two devotees.
Yes, yes. Prabhu, these questions, when they are asking, they are already enlightened souls. So is it asking for the benefit of others, or is it really because they already, like, they are on an elevated platform, most of them? Is it for that they are asking for the benefit of others, or?
Actually, nature of Krishna Katha is that we never feel satisfied. We always want more and more newer insights. So there's no harm in asking actually this question. We'll always find, we'll say, okay, this question, I already know why he has asked this question. And we will find in a class, Maharaj will give such an explanation. We'll say, wow, actually very nice. He asked this question. Such a new angle has come up today. We'll always regularly find this, when we hear classes and sometimes the questions are asked, we'll feel already such a silly question actually. What is this in this? Why he asked this question? And then we find, wow, such a beautiful answer by spiritual masters. So the pure devotees, they understand actually that there's so many aspects. Krishna is unlimited. So, and topic is one, tell me about Krishna, but how many flavors are there? Unlimited flavors. Everything about Krishna is unlimited. So all the spiritual discussion, because Krishna is mentioning it, is related to Krishna consciousness. So that way actually there's always a scope to learn. So we understand from that these devotees are genuinely actually asking this question to understand more and more aspects of Krishna.
Okay.
And definitely they also ask for us. Definitely they ask for us. We also find senior devotees ask this question sometime in the class, and their also intention is to help actually people who are sitting there in the class and who don't even want to ask. Right? Sometimes actually it's very important. Many times we just do things, right? New devotees and I'm also trying to reflect in my own life. Sometimes we don't speak up for years, right? One devotee asked recently, what prayers you did to be in front of Krishna, and the devotee is saying that, I didn't know that we're supposed to. I never ask anything to Krishna. I feel only why we'll ask anything from Krishna. We should be not asking anything from Krishna. We just go to acharyas and we can ask them, but not Krishna. And then I told, no. Actually, there's so many songs are there. We are begging Krishna, mercies, attention. We should ask Krishna. So sometimes we never know, like the devotee is almost a year coming to temple, and if we never ask, okay, what you're supposed to ask or what you're supposed to pray, then we never come to know, right? So basically, of course, you might know already the answer of this, but basically, it's always good to ask. Actually, we understand more angles, even simple things. Actually, it's good to ask because the devotees have different different practices, and we understand different angles and different reasons, purposes why they're doing what they're doing, and it strengthens our faith. So it's very important element actually, as you mentioned, all the scriptures are question answer scriptures.
Yes, very thank you, Prabhu. So yes, definitely there are like different kind of realization, different insights accordingly. So every question, same question will have different ways of presenting it, understanding it. Yeah, very true. Thank you. Thank you very much, Prabhu. Any other devotees?
Okay.
Yes.
We should close. 1 or 2 minutes Kirtan should we do and should we close?
Your kirtans are very nice, Prabhu. We really love to hear your kirtans. Yes, very nice kirtans.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Friends will chant. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So as we discussed in a little discussion that we should try to chant in a spirit of helplessness when we are at least doing our core devotional activities. So let's try to chant a little more in this similar mood of helplessness, crying out to Krishna, reaching out to Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Hare Nam Sankirtan ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Kari Satra ki jai, Sai Gaur Premanande.
Hari Hari Bo.
Hari Hari
Hare
Bo.
Krishna.
Hare
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time and association you have given to us, Prabhu. Thank you very much. Asimana Krishna, Prabhu, you would like to say something?
Hare Krishna, Puji, Dandavat Pranam, Puji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for your association today. Nice.
Thank you. I've been sleeping in ignorance, but I should be sleeping in ignorance, but you made me speak little Krishna Gatha today. It's made my night successful.
Thank you. You given a lot of enlightenment especially about holy name, which is you're talking about helplessness. Prabhuji, actually it is good to hear from you, but when we are chanting, that helplessness will not come. We see also sometimes you also now when you're chanting, we try to enjoy that, but not that helplessness will not be very difficult. You got it, Prabhuji?
Somebody's asked me one question, Prabhuji. You were asked, I got it later on. Come and one Prabhu has asked this question. Prabhuji, during chanting in helpless mode, we should call out to Krishna, as you said. So it should be your inner calling while chanting, or stop the chanting for seconds and call out to Krishna and then chant again. It's a very stupid question, but okay. Okay. So anyways, this is a beautiful question. Any question is a good question. And Prabhuji, you're also asking how to develop this helpless in chanting. Of course, as I mentioned, like we should be helpless in chanting and we can live our day, but it's not like we can live our day in any way. We try to live our day in a Krishna consciousness. We try to hear about Krishna. We try to hear, or the tattva is very clear, then automatically, we are clear in chanting also. It's not like we can flip everything and chanting, we can tune to right kind of consciousness. We have to live our life actually is conducive for chanting. We have to live our day in such a way that we're looking out to chanting when the chanting time is there. We're looking out when the next day is going to come, because it's our shelter, it's our relief, right? When you're working in an office, 8 and 9 hours a day, what you're looking is when the time is going to come when you're going to reach home actually and reach to your family and have a little good talk. And so that's our shelter, that when you're rain, you're just searching when the tree is going to come and going to stand below, or I'm going to have some shade so that I won't be troubled by all this. So similarly, when we are working in a day, actually it should attract, there's a purpose of living in this world actually, that it helps us navigate to Krishna. And Krishna is here, specifically appeared as holy name, Namarupi Krishna, Kali Yuga Namarupi Krishna avatar. So we have to also see actually that how our day-to-day life is actually always directing us towards, like to chanting, and we look out to chanting when the time is going to come. We are planning for it, and we're going to feel bliss when we're going to start chanting. Not that, okay, now I got this today's task of finishing 16 rounds. Somehow I'm going to complete it, eat up my rounds, and then I'm free to do anything and everything that I want. So very shelter then. We're not, chanting is not the shelter. Our time spent in material world is shelter, right? Because we are not clear about some of the gyan. We're trying to complete our shelter. We are not looking into it. We're looking to go out and do things, right? That's why all the thoughts are coming in a chanting. I'll do this and do that. Because our shelter is not yet fixed in Krishna, actually. So we have to philosophically understand it. We have to get attracted to it. We have to experience it. We have to associate with devotees. We learned that Krishna is only shelter, and try to understand how it is only shelter. Meditate on this fact, actually. So we have to come to this platform where we look out, we see when the time is going to, we're extremely happy. Wow, the time has come now. I'm going to meet Krishna. It's my time with Krishna, and we chant with attachment, right? It's not
only during chanting. And definitely then when we're chanting, we don't try to bring out our mind and think about different things, because we have been looking actually to meet Krishna exclusively all our day. We've been waiting for it, this opportunity. So, and of course, we try to meet Krishna in daytime also, because we may not like to eat so much. And there is always a feedback, and we can open and we can release Krishna's association in the form of chanting. And then the next day again, we get a full opportunity of 2 long hours meeting, not a short meeting, right? When a loved one is there, you don't like short meetings. You want to really sit with the person and spend all your time, exclusive time. So that's our morning chanting time. Srila Prabhupada mercifully given us time. So this way, when we chant, then definitely actually it will be better, right? When you're preparing and when looking out for a person, then you also engage with that person. But if you're not looking, somebody comes without calling, then you want to cut off. कैसे चला जाएगा भाई, प्लान तो नहीं किया था, आ गया अभी गेस्ट आ गया कोई, तो कैसे जल्दी से काम खत्म कर सकते. तो हमारा ऐसा है, कृष्णा is like unwanted guest right now. We're not looking out for him. Is there, but what we're looking when we chant, we find out so many mind is going, right? So we have to really, that's why I'm chanting actually, why I'm sitting here. We need to always clarify ourselves. And we have taken up decision very consciously, hopefully, very consciously, with knowledge, with understanding. So initially, intellectually, we need to understand. Then gradually the experience of Krishna comes. Then we'll look out more and more. The experience also has to come actually. But if not, at least intellectually we understand, and that we control our mind. And Prabhu just asked, how do we also helplessness that we can, of course, that way helplessness come when it's not helpless, and there is helplessness in life, then it's more easier actually. On when already your life so many troubles are going on, so we can always take shelter of Krishna and chant. But we don't chant to take out those troubles. We chant to take us out of those struggles actually, right? Not the troubles will be out and I'll be again happy in the material world. But in the chanting that we pray Krishna, this is the world actually, and you are only shelter, and just give me a shelter, right? I want to return back to you when the time is going to come. So that's what we chant. And we realize when helpless is not there, then at least from seeing others' helplessness and seeing scriptures there, how to talk about material world so helpless, we develop this understanding, because whatever is there actually, it's not going to be there. There is a nature of this material, because it's only what you're giving us happiness become a cause of great distress later over the period of time. We have to thoroughly understand this fact about material world actually. And no situation can remain perfect. No, the pages are turning and the book is going to be complete, and means material world is always changing, please. So yeah, by these various kind of means actually we can develop some kind of helplessness, as far as my understanding was. And this question is Prabhu asked, do we stop in chanting, or do we think while chanting? So if you're around this complete, probably you can stop and read some prayers, and but when you're chanting, generally we chant. That's what I see, right? Because mind will know when you're chanting, and mind will go in different directions. It's not good to distract our mind during, at least when you're completing our mala. So, but of course, for some devotees who are focused in chanting, and they may be able to relate both. So generally, chanting is also personal experience actually. Like what works for me, it may not work for others. One has to also see what is enhancing my chanting. The ultimate aim is to enhance my chanting. What helps to enhance my chanting? If this were that way, when I see I want to better hear, better take shelter, I want to feel more Krishna conscious. Satatam smartam Vishnu vismartam na jatuji. That only aim is to remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. And all other rules and regulations are subservient to this rule. So whatever helps you actually over the period of time, you can just for yourself, right? There's no fixed answer for this, but what works for you is the best practice for you. Aim is to attain Krishna. Okay, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you. Yeah.
Okay. So I think I'm making weight actually there.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you very much. I think it's getting late for you also there, right, Prabhu? 10:45. Yes.
Yeah, I'm not sure I may be traveling to Bombay tomorrow. Yeah,
You are in Mumbai, Prabhu, now?
No, but I may be traveling, not sure yet actually. To decide that thing out. Brahma Guru Maharaj is giving class tomorrow to Pattam. So maybe, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you very much for giving your association and your inspiring instructions.
Please pray for me actually. I'm far, but I must tell the truth what I learned, and little bit whenever I had realizations. So I know that every day I have these realizations. Somehow Krishna sometimes blesses me, and then I try to remember them and try to practice or try to share. But please pray for me that I live under Son of Krishna. I always have this clarity of my mind and thought, and able to take shelter of Krishna every single day and every single mantra I chant. Yes,
Thank
I
you.
seek
Thank
your
you.
blessings.
Bless. Definitely pray for everyone, Prabhu. Share our prayers. So we'd like to express our humble gratitude for your giving your valuable time for every one of us here assembled today for hearing this Bhagavatam. So let us all express our gratitude and pray to the lotus feet of Sri Sri Radha Krishna for Prabhu and
Thank you. Thank you.
for every one of us.
The prayers are only my hope, actually.
Take the shelter of holy name 3 times. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Srimad Bhagavatam Mahapuran ki Jai.
Hare Krishna Prabhu
की जय वांछा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च
Hare Krishna Prabhu
वैष्णव की जय ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवत की जय श्री प्रभुपाद की जय देश तोषण की जय हरे कृष्ण
Jai Hari Bol, Hare Krishna.